Real quick,
And
I do have a question for you. So I saw this on Twitter earlier, and it is sort of fantasy football related, but also just kind of in general. And I think it really is pertinent to the fact that you just brought up the whole Devin Booker analogy with the Suns that year and the coach saying we're not going to win the championship, so we're going to develop our young guys. So in this game, right, the Falcons, they go out, they win the game 28-14, good win. But if you look at this game, like Kyle Pitts, 3 catches for 19 yards, Drake London, 3 catches for 40 yards. Like their last 2 players they drafted in the first round, both being top 10 picks, are almost like having no impact and no usage throughout the season so far. And we know that they're both very talented. And so I'm wondering, like, okay, because assuming that Atlanta doesn't all of a sudden become some force, because I don't think anyone's expecting them to like go in deep and win multiple playoff games or anything. Like hypothetically, they could maybe make the playoffs based on the fact their division has been kind of weak. But even then, I feel like they probably won't. So let's say, like, hypothetically, would you rather be the Falcons right now and run the crap out of the ball and win like 9 games? Or would you rather actually throw out your young pieces like Kyle Pitts and Drake London and maybe even Desmond Ridder and sacrifice some of those wins and win like 5 games, but for the sake of developing the players that you've drafted early? What do you think?
So what Aaron, the GM, would do would be the latter, just develop the young pieces, because presently constructed, like, yes, you already alluded to, yes, this Atlanta team can make the playoffs. Like, yes, they could, but I just don't see them winning the Super Bowl. Like, they just don't have the difference makers to do that. So it's kind of like you already, like what the quandary of most of these teams face is, like, do we want to just kind of be middling, or, you know, maybe suck for a year or two and, you know, get better picks and then make the move. But obviously Arthur Smith, I think it's important to remember, came from Tennessee. It's very much like Tennessee. They're leaning on the run game. And then the pass game is basically, okay, like they're slow in the box, or, you know, just a few game plan, but it's a run heavy offense and you know, a very smart defense. It's very similar to Tennessee. I mean, I'm guessing that's what he's going for here. It's kind of similar kind of culture and style, and, you know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, I would personally throw out the youngsters, let them make mistakes, see what you got, and, you know, let them maybe grow and develop more. Because, yeah, obviously, I think we all feel Mariota's not the future. Sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What about you?
I'm sitting here, like, because like I said, I watched this game on the side screen, and I'm almost just like, okay, I get it. Like, yes, I think I would always want to play for the win. Like, I'm not saying they should try to lose and tank. And if Mariota gives you the best chance to win and Desmond Ridder's not ready, that's fine. But with guys like Kyle Pitts and Drake London, who are both drafted so highly, like, a top 10 pick should be playing and should be being used. I don't care how good of a team you are. Like, well, if you're a top 10 pick, most likely, unless you traded for it, you're a really bad team. Like, this player should be a featured part of your game plan. And so it's just kind of shocking to me that it's like, okay, we're going to run the ball 31 times with Caleb Huntley and Tyler Algier, our backup running backs, because our starter's injured. We're going to run the ball 31 times with them and just barely use our top 5 picks. Like, what is the point of even picking them at that point? Like, I feel like if this was going to be the result of after you selected them, like, go take a tackle or go take Justin Fields, who could do exactly what Mariota is doing in this offense right now, which is attempt 14 passes, and maybe he wouldn't be as efficient or something because he's a rookie. He's going to make a couple more mistakes and want to just like bomb it deep every now and then. But like, I don't know, like the way that they're playing right now makes absolutely no sense to me. Of like, it feels like the front office and the coaching staff, like you said, have 2 very different visions of like what this team's going to be. And right now the coaching staff is playing for the here and now, while the here and now is not catering to the 2 talented playmakers you have. And also, for the record, I think a lot of people for some reason think that winning is exclusive of Drake London and Kyle Pitts being used. I don't understand. Like, I feel like if you're a head coach and you can't find a way to win while using those 2 players, like, you're a bad coach. And I'm not saying Arthur Smith's a bad coach, but I'm just saying, like you mentioned, we're watching Daniel Jones and the Giants win 5 games. And I really personally don't believe there's that big of a gap between Daniel Jones and Marcus Mariota. And the Falcons have better weapons than Kyle Pitts and Drake London. They're better than any of the receiving weapons the Giants have, but we're watching Brian Daboll figure out how to feature Saquon Barkley and how to get everybody else involved and make it work. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. And also, I am a Kyle Pitts fantasy owner that's very mad. But in real life, it just doesn't make sense to me.
We're both Kyle Pitts fantasy owners, caveat. But I've already, if you've been following the podcast, I've already jumped off this train. Like I said, I had to start Irv Smith only because Pat Freiermuth, my other tight end. I had very rare time I had 3 tight ends on my roster. But yeah, because Freiermuth was out. And I'm like, well, I'm not dropping Freiermuth to Pitts. So, but yeah, we'll see what Atlanta decides to do with their young talent going forward. And, but I mean, if they keep racking up the wins, it's hard for us to sit here and criticize, I guess. But we'll see who has the last laugh at any year when Atlanta's probably going to be in Cabo with the rest of us.
Yeah, I hope all Falcons fans after the year can sit there and take pride in like the 9 wins that they came out with. Congrats, I guess, if they get 9 wins.
Yeah, I guess. Thanks for watching this clip from the Shut Up and Ball podcast. If you want to see more weekly NFL and NBA content, click the subscribe button, like the video, and if you want to see the full episode this clip came from, go ahead and click here.